I see that perhaps I'm not being clear enough, Richard. Let me explain it perhaps a little bit differently. Um, the pitch switch technique. Hi guys, my name's Deepak Shukla, founder at Pearl Lemon Sales. We're a sales training and development agency based in the UK as well as the USA and serving clients worldwide. And here today, in day number 116 of 119 days of cold calling training, we're here to talk about the pitch switch technique. But before we get into it, feel free to click the link in the description below to get access to 17 additional strategies that are not shared in this training. So fundamentally, with the pitch switch technique, it's a case of, as we discussed in the last training with the judge attention span approach in training number 115, that depending upon what's happening, you're going to need to be able to quickly switch pitches. So we've discussed in training number 92 the analytical pitch, number 93 the commercial pitch, number 94 the in a nutshell pitch, and you need to be able to really and seamlessly move between all three and whatever else you have in your pocket. Okay, you need to be able to switch pitches at the drop of a hat in an instant, because you might misread the person that you're speaking to. The person might suddenly have less time during the call if someone walks into the office, if they're on a construction site, or if there's just some type of change, which means that you need to move from, for example, the analytical to the commercial to the in a nutshell. You might need to switch between these three pitches depending upon what happens, or depending upon how they react to certain elements of your pitch. So you might think that, well, this person needs the analytical, and the analytical might not be hitting that much, but they might need to then hear more of the commercial, or you know what, I've got to go, just give it to me in a nutshell, the ultimate elevator, the ultimate end game. What is it? So having the ability to switch between all three of them is really going to help you. So it might be something along the lines of, if we move from, for example, the commercial to analytical. So Richard, look, I can promise you that with our sales training, you're going to register a significant difference when it comes to your sales figures. Now, imagine I got a response from Richard, something to the effect of, well, Deepak, that's something, that's a claim that I've heard before. And when it comes to the actual nuts and bolts of it, I don't see anything that's gonna, blow me away at all. Blow me away at all. I'm just being honest with you. So, say for example, now Richard has said that, well, I've heard this commercial pitch like time and time again. That's not going to do it for me. He might need something more analytical. And then I'd say, Rich, I totally understand. This is how it's going to be different to anything that you've experienced before. So most companies typically, come in and run a workshop. We're going to come in, run workshops. We record all of the training. We actually edit all of the videos and chop them up and create a syllabus from it, which will be a syllabus that's designed just for yourself. So it's on a dedicated site for you. That's, for example, something to the effect of courses.richard.marketing.com. We're going to chop up the videos. We're going to add transcriptions. We're going to add PDF worksheets. So we're going to create an ultimately forever green training program. So do you see now, guys? And Richard might say, okay, wow, okay, so that's different. I've not heard anything like that before. And then that might be me moving from the commercial to the analytical to demonstrate how it is that we're actually going to be different. And I've had to, because of how Richard has kindly told me that, my commercial pitch isn't, for example, really doing it for him. I need to conduct a pitch switch, and I need to move from commercial to analytical. Now, equally, I could be in the midst of a analytical pitch saying, Richard, I want to talk to you about how our sales training in a nutshell is going to generate 10 new deals for you a quarter, which will equal over $250,000 in new business, and why it makes sense that you pay £20,000 per quarter for making sure £21,000 per quarter to ensure that we help support you bring in another $250,000. And he might say, Deepak, I've got to go. Can you just, in a nutshell, give it to me? Yeah, so fundamentally, we come in twice a week. We do training on a Thursday as well as a Monday. We go through in-field tactics where we're listening into the calls. We're actually making some of the cold calls. alongside your team. We're recording all of it. We're chopping it up. We're sending it to, we're creating a syllabus. So in a nutshell, it's going to be so different to any sales training you had before. And it's going to drive, we predict, 10 new sales a quarter, which to my understanding is $250,000 in new business for you. Okay, Deepak, sounds interesting. When can you come in and present this to the board? So do you see, guys, that's an example of moving from, for example, the quick analytical to a little bit of mixing the analytical to in a nutshell and talking about the commercials. So depending upon where the person is in the timeline of that call, you need to be able to move between analytical, commercial to in a nutshell, to depending upon who the person is, to lock that person down. And they sometimes will signal it, sometimes you'll need to sense it, but in any event, you'll need to be able to switch the pitch according to what's happening on the call. So there you have it, guys, the pitch switch technique.
Remember, we've got 17 gated strategies just waiting for you. All you need to do is bing, subscribe, as well as click the link in the description below to get access to those 17. Get some.